Okay, so this is the harvest full moon reading I felt called to get on here and do today. Also, just check out this channel. I just did a full moon chat for 15 minutes or so and kind of talked about what this harvest full moon is about and what it means to release. So if you haven't checked that out yet, definitely look for it on the channel. It will be called Harvest Moon Chat, probably. Now let's do a full moon card reading. The card decks we're going to use are over there. The Dark Mansion Tarot, okay? Rider-Waite Radiant deck for clarifying. We'll use the Energy Oracle, the Spellcasting Oracle. No, actually, Spellcaster's Oracle. And Starseed Oracle for guidance. I love those cards for guidance. They're so good. Okay, so let's see. What energies are supporting this harvest moon for the next month? What energies? What energies? Oh, okay. What energies are supporting the harvest moon this month? One more. Okay. Thank you. And at the bottom of the deck is action. So first we have contract, number 6. Door to personal healing and happiness, number 34. Or 7 for those of you numerology folks. Number 9, broken heart. Okay. Okay. So, what will the collective be feeling? What will the collective be feeling under the harvest moon? For the next month, what will the collective be feeling? Woo! All right. Justice. It's a beautiful card there. Courage. Commitment. Which is interesting next to the broken heart card here. Just a second, please. Okay, I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing happening in the next month. If you watch that chat video I was just talking about, we talk a lot about what this harvest moon, the energies it's bringing, and one of the energies it was bringing is like the energies coming in are energies that are going to help you overcome any challenges. Okay, my nose is itching really bad, and anyone who knows, when my nose is itching, that means it's going to be a really good reading because the energy is flowing through me. It's funny. Okay. So basically, the cosmic energies coming in this month are supporting us letting go of any emotional baggage that's holding us back from our goals and our successes, right? And our abundance and happiness. And I feel like this is saying that this is like part of the soul contract of humanity. Okay? It's all making sense now. Okay. So basically, this is saying there are still going to be a lot of broken-hearted energies, right? 2020 has kind of been a crazy, rough year, correct? For a lot of people. And even the people that aren't getting it that bad are still getting it, if that makes sense. So everyone is feeling it. Everyone is feeling it's like the humanity is like in a pressure cooker right now. And it's like the pressure cooker is on the verge of exploding. But 2020, I feel like, has been letting the pressure out little by little by little. That's why it's like things keep happening, right? First, Australia's on fire, then a pandemic, then all this racial injustice and unrest is being brought to the forefront. And then California's on fire. And then, you know what I mean? So it's like the pressure humanity's been under has been slowly releasing. And it's been traumatizing, let's be honest. And so there's a lot of this broken-hearted energy, okay? But what I'm hearing right now is all of this upheaval, all of this dismantling of societal structures we've come to rely on, all of that is part of the contract of humanity. This is what has to happen for humanity to grow and evolve, right? Think about humans have been around for thousands of years. And think about that very first human compared to now. Think about all the evolution that's happened. That doesn't just happen like, oh, in a field of flowers, everything's wonderful, right? That's not how it works. So, although this card would make you think that because look how beautiful that is. But I feel like that's where we're going, okay? So I feel like this harvest moon is going to be supporting a lot of healing so that we as a collective can find happiness again and start finding the joy in life again, because this year has been rough on a lot of people, and I feel like it's been hard for a lot of people to find joy. But this is basically saying if we can stay courageous and committed, okay, to this journey, there will be justice and things will start balancing out and things will start getting better and that pressure will be released, okay? But it's important I say this, that the brokenheartedness isn't going to go away, okay? There's always going to be this underlying brokenheartedness in all of us until we heal ourselves. I say this a lot on this channel. We can't change the world until we can change ourselves. And so we have to start right. And the tarot box agrees. But bump. Okay. Anyway, we have to start facing our traumas. We have to find the courage to face our traumas, because that's the only thing that's going to bring us justice. That's the only thing. We're only going to get justice and all of this beauty and happiness and balance when we can commit to the journey. You know, we have to make a commitment. We have to hold ourselves as human beings to higher standards, right? We need to stop all this justification. This is what, man, their messages are coming in real fast. Okay, so they're basically saying we have to stop all this. Well, this is how it's always been done, or this has gone on for thousands of years. It's time for us to take a hard look at who we are as humans and start asking ourselves the hard questions. Is this who we want to be? Do we want to be, do we want to have all this poverty? Do we want to have all this hate and division and strife in society? Is that really who we want to be? Do we want to expend all this energy on fighting against things that are completely out of our control? You know, I have a friend who was telling me recently that, like, lately, she's a vegan, and lately anywhere she goes, people are like, ugh, you're a vegan, ugh, you're one of those, ugh, you know. And she said, the thing is, I don't understand. Why do they care what I eat? You know, and she's right. And I'm using that as an example. We need to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and start worrying about healing ourselves and making ourselves better people, right? So if you don't agree with something, if it goes against what you believe or what you think is your truth, or I'm sorry, what is your truth, then, you know, you have to start to investigate, why does this trigger me so badly? Why am I so worked up by this? Like, you know, Donald Trump is a perfect example, and don't get me wrong, I have no love for that guy. I feel like he's unnecessarily hateful and obnoxious at times, right? And there's no reason for that. But he's a complete stranger, right? I mean, I know him from television. I've never met him. I've never hung out with him. So I don't let him spin me out of control. Because why would I give someone that much power, right? So if there's any, and Donald Trump, I'm just using an example. If there's anything, like if somebody's vegan or homosexual or transgendered or Catholic or atheist or Christian, whatever it is, you know, Protestant, Methodist, whatever, there's a million of them, Muslim. If you're getting so riled up about that person's choice, you have to start asking yourself, why? Why am I so riled up over, one, something I have zero control over, and two, it's somebody else's choice. I don't have to live that life. I don't have to live in the consequences or the successes of that person. So why am I giving them all of my power and energy and letting them spin me so completely out of my emotions, right? We have to start asking ourselves these questions, because part of the reason the world is in such chaos is because everybody's worried about what everybody else is doing. And I get the reason why. It's because there's a giant fear, right? There's this giant fear that if I stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, I'm going to have to look into myself, and I'm going to have to do self-reflection, and I'm going to have to start looking at my contributions to society, to myself. Am I fulfilling my goals? You know, basically, people are afraid to look at themselves because nobody wants to have to hold themselves accountable. So they expend all this excess energy focusing on outside forces and trying to control and change people. And that's just not going to work. All it does is bring you lower and lower down the vibrational scale, because you need to be worried about you, and you need to be self-reflecting on you. And the only way you open this beautiful paradise is by opening the door to personal healing and happiness. We need to stop being so concerned with what people we don't even know are doing. Okay? And I'll get off my soapbox now, but that wasn't just me. Those messages were coming in strong from some ancestor. Okay. So let's get the story of what can we expect under the harvest moon. Can I please get the story of what to expect for the harvest moon? Woo! Okay. These don't go. Okay. We'll turn them over here in a moment. Anything else? Anything else? Big chunk. I love these cards, but it's a fairly new deck, and so it's a little stiff. Okay. Oh. Okay. So we have 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups reversed, the Sun, best card in the deck because it's about healing, balance, finding that euphoria within. King of Wands and 8 of Wands. So okay. Okay, I feel like a lot of this month we're going to be feeling left out in the cold, or not 100%. We're not gonna all the way be in a total like funk or depression, but we're not gonna be all the way in our best energy either. Okay, we're kind of gonna be in this middle ground, but that's good because the middle ground, 5 of Pentacles, that's like about change and being so okay, I'm getting it. So everyone's feeling really tired and exhausted at this point from what's occurred so far this year. And we're kind of all still in this place of like numbness, shock, not so much shock. The shock is starting to wear off and we're starting to move into numbness, like this feeling of just like, stagnation. That's the word I'm looking for. But that feeling of stagnation is, because 3 of Cups is about celebration. Like, look at this. They're all celebrating, having a good old time. But it came out reversed, so it's the opposite of that. So basically, right now, nobody feels like celebrating. Nobody feels like, it's not like you're at the point of just laying in bed and crying all the time, but you're also not in any mood or energy field of feeling like there are things to celebrate, right? Everyone's had a very rough year in some way, shape, or form. If you didn't lose your job, then you might have lost somebody to the pandemic. If you didn't lose somebody to the pandemic, you might have lost your job. If you all kinds of things can come up. I even know in my own family, some things that were a long time coming finally bubbled to a head and happened, right? So, so that all of that trauma and all of this brokenheartedness that's been going on has kind of put us in this place of nobody feels like celebrating. Nobody feels like giving up, but nobody feels like really motivated to move forward either, okay? But that energy is causing people to really evaluate their lives and really evaluate what's important. 8 of Cups. And you see, she's walking away. And again, I refer you back to the chit chat video for the harvest moon that I posted, because it talks very much about this. Really looking at our lives and looking at all the things that fill our cups up with joy and happiness and fulfillment, right? And walking away from those that don't. Okay? You know, some of these cups are like wobbly, so they're not even stable to begin with. So I feel like finally, because of all of this trauma and pressure and all of the things from the beginning of the year, in this next month, it's really finally forcing people that have been stuck into moving and walking away, leaving the things in the past that aren't going to serve us, right? And then we move right into the Sun card, which I said is the best card in the deck. It's about healing. It's about happiness. It's about fulfillment. It's about stepping into your power and finding and connecting to your higher self, and then holding yourself to a higher standard of account and being accountable for things, right? Like, it's difficult, of course, and nobody wants to do it, but we have to. You know, look at the state the world's in right now. Again, I'm going to say it. The only way we can change the world is by changing ourselves. And this is saying, if we can successfully leave the things, you know, release the things, let them go, then we're going to move into the Sun, which is this amazing, healing, energetic journey that will bring us stability, happiness. Okay, we have the King of Wands and 8 of Wands. So basically, I feel like if we can leave these barriers that are obstacles behind us and move into this healing Sun energy, then we're going to quickly move to being the King of Wands, which is a very balanced, happy, healthy person who is surrounded with passion and creativity and fulfillment. Okay, I don't even need to clarify this because the messages are so clearly coming through. So let's get the guidance. Couple guidance cards, please. Couple guidance cards for the collective under the harvest moon this month. Whoa, that was one more. Okay, 4. And the bottom of the deck is the courageous peony. Let yourself be seen. And again, courage. So the bottom of the deck, the underlying issue, is to do all of this, to get to this amazing King of Wands. We have to have the courage to do it, right? We have to dig down deep and find our courage, because whether we like it or not, it's happening. This is part of humanity's contract with the universe. So we have to evolve. We have to level up. It's happening, whether we go kicking and screaming or whether we go peacefully by healing our traumas and releasing our burdens. Right? Man, they are sending through some good messages. Okay. First one, Star Keeper. Cosmic Ancestor. See the light by staying grounded. Okay. Karmic relationships. Okay. Polarity, soul growth, conflict. The Seas of Mentica. Seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. And all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition. Turn your gaze within. Okay. So this is basically saying it's time to start facing ourselves. It's time to start growing. It's time to get out of our comfort zones. We need to go within, start self-reflecting. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and start self-reflecting and looking at your life. Where can you see patterns that may have been repeating, like in your relationships, and not just love relationships, in your family relationships, in your friend relationships? Can you look back over your life and see a pattern of, like, you know, every time something gets hard, you quit, and that's just an example of a pattern, you know, or every time a traumatic event comes up, you run away and go to a bar and drink yourself silly so you don't have to face it, right? That's also a pattern. So I'm just, again with the itchy nose, so I'm just kind of giving examples. This is basically saying the best way to start this process is by staying grounded and looking at where the conflict has been in your life with your specific traumas. Where has the conflict been? And then you have to start bringing light to it, okay? And all paths lead home. This is basically saying all paths lead you to this amazing, healing, happy place within you. But you have to do the work, okay? You have to sit with yourself and ask yourself the hard questions, and you have to start reflecting on your life and your patterns and your traumas, and you have to start bringing them to the light, because things in darkness don't heal. When you repress something, when you avoid something, that's not healing. You may not be thinking about it right now, but it's just sitting within your aura and festering, and then it'll usually become a bigger trauma in the long run because you've ignored it, because you've repressed it, right? So I feel like the guidance is saying the time is now. There's no more messing around. You need to get grounded and start facing your baggage so that you can put it down. And the only way you can do that is by looking within and, you know, dealing with them one problem at a time. One problem at a time. So if this resonates with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends if you know anyone who might benefit from this message. I feel like this is a really good reading for the full moon. You know, this is basically saying that, like, this upheaval, it's time. It's long overdue. This universal, global changes and upheaval, we can't avoid it. It's part of the contract, right? There's no getting around it. So you might as well just dive in and start healing yourself, because once everyone starts healing themselves, we start raising the vibration of the whole of humanity. And once we start doing that, then we're going to start to see these things not exist any longer in society, like racism, like, you know, the caste system, the people living without food and water that they can drink that's clean. And, you know, so those things are not going to start to go away and be fixed until we can all start healing ourselves and then getting to the higher vibrational, healthy, healed, emotional place that then we can start tackling these bigger issues. Okay? And that is all. Whew, just like that, they all got quiet. So I hope this helped and resonated. Please let me know if it does. I always like to hear And you have a wonderful rest of day and weekend. And I feel the need to say namaste.